Welcome to the Rockhound Podcast. This week, our guest is Marlaina. So go ahead and take it away, Marlaina.
Hello, my name is Marlaina Atkins, and I have a YouTube channel called Marlaina Atkins. I pretty well just have, I'm your hound, I don't know. I do all sorts of different things, but mainly just rock hunting the shores around here, and I just love to share whatever I have going on, whether that be cutting or tumbling or rapping. It's pretty an eclectic, I think, kind of YouTube channel. But yeah,
Nice.
Yeah. I call myself the Hound from the Puget Sound. But, I thought about changing my name to that one point, but I was like, oh, I don't know.
Anyway. That's awesome. Or you could be a teacher or something. Cool. Well, thank you. Welcome to the podcast, Marlaina. It's so good to have you here, and we love that channel that you've got. And I want to welcome everybody else here that's tuned in. Thank you so much for coming over. If you've been watching ever since the beginning, or if this is your very first time, we really are so appreciative that you've been tuning in. And my name is Karen, and I am from Ozone Fine Art Ventures here in Newport, Oregon. So, Kurt, how about you?
My name is Kurt, the Wild West weirdo, and I am with Rock.Hounding.Adventures. I'm out in western Colorado, and just do a bunch of rock hounding and lapidary stuff. So, Theo?
I guess this week my name is Jed, and my channel is In Search of Sasquatch. We're located in the Galapagos because that's where I assume Sasquatch is. That's all I have to say.
And I'm still Mild Kyle with World of Rock Hounds. Here in Oregon, by the way. So Karen, do we have any questions or shout outs from our last podcast?
We sure do, as a matter of fact. And so, first of all, we asked a question of all the viewers about the time in which we come on, and you guys all had some really good points, but my favorite was, we don't care. I'm so happy that you're doing the podcast, that we're just going to tune in whenever. And so that was my favorite answer also, but there were many of those. And so one of the good points was that over on the East Coast, you guys are getting kind of on the late side. So this might be a really good time slot because they start at 9:00. And so I thought, okay, well, for all y'all out there on the East Coast, we want to keep you awake instead of putting you to sleep. So maybe where we're at is a good idea. A shout out to Karen in BC. By the way, Sandmaker wanted to report that he did, in fact, find some shark's teeth. So thanks for the Wild Kyle help in Florida. And Julie McKenna, also Ontario, Canada, she was requesting an identification show or section of the show. And I thought that was like a really good idea. And that actually came up several times in our comments over the different podcasts. Like, how do we get to identifying the stones? And so I like that. Hasu from Romania, Rock and Roll also from Canada. Also, he chimed in also on the it's late in Canada when we get started. So 9 p.m. is a good time to start if we're going to be going for 2 hours, which we don't always do. Yeah. But yeah, those were the shouts. Thanks so much. And you guys, for you viewing right now, we are so interested in where you're viewing from. So if you could drop it in the comments where you're viewing from right now, that would be so cool. We did have a comment about somebody speeding down the highway because they were listening to the podcast. And so you can wait.
Oh, that's so funny.
So back to you, Kyle.
Drive safe.
Yeah.
follow
Speed.
follow the
I mean,
signs.
we can at least take that as a compliment because apparently
Yeah.
we're exciting.
We didn't want to miss the live chat, man.
Right, they're listening and chatting while they're like,
Yeah.
don't do that.
No.
So let's go ahead and get into how everyone's week's been going. So let's go ahead and lead off with Marlaina.
It's been not too busy of a week, but I've just been pretty well doing some wire wrapping. That's what I do mainly right now when I'm not hounding. I'm either tumbling or wire wrapping something. So I definitely have tumblers rolling, and I bring. I'll wait till the show and tell this. But yeah, I've been doing some wire wrapping. So that's pretty well the extent of my week and taking care of 2 kids. So
Nice.
Nice. I just want to say real quick, Marlaina, your wire wraps are extremely beautiful.
oh,
And,
thank you.
Out of this world, like insane.
Like seriously, that means so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
'Cause it can be pretty challenging, you know. Any of you have tried. It takes a lot of patience. Let's put it that way. But I really have enjoyed it. What's really kept me doing it too is like I'm no joke dream of wraps in my head. I'll go to sleep wire wrapping, or my husband will catch me just staring off. And he's like, "You're wire wrapping, aren't you?" I'm like, "Yeah." So funny in my head because I don't want to waste wire too, because it can add up and cost money. So I try to think it out as much as possible. And anyway, I really love doing it though, and I've always wanted to make jewelry actually growing up. So this was a perfect avenue for me to do that, really. And that's what I plan on doing in the future too, is continuing to wire wrap, and hopefully eventually I'll be able to. I'm building up inventory right now to hopefully be able to sell on a platform like Etsy or something, even the farmers markets around here, or even maybe do a live show. I was even thinking eventually when I get a business license and get all that stuff in order, but do some live sales or something of some of my work. So it means a lot. I really appreciate you saying that, because I'm my worst critic, I swear. And I'm always like, "Oh, I look so stupid," and everyone's like, "Oh, it looks so great." So it makes me feel good. It does. Thank you.
Of course.
That was a really long answer. So I mean, like,
That's okay.
I told you I'll start talking your ear off. Why'd you get me going?
That's all right.
Me too.
You need me to shut up, just do that, Went on too long, Marlaina.
Karen, how's your week?
I couldn't figure out how it was already Thursday. Like with the holiday weekend, I was like, oh my gosh, the podcast. And so the Memorial Day weekend buzzed by with amazing. We weren't working the convection into the valley. That means that we had the inversion layer and we had fog yet. We had actual beach days for a couple days, and it was hot on the beach, and that's such a pleasure. So we got to do that for the Memorial Day weekend, and my husband was home for the holiday, and so all of a sudden Wednesday was my only work day. So I got my precious little done. Although I did last week I got a microscope, and so I've been working with the microscopy and that sort of thing. It's been super fun.
On the aspens?
On the aspens and the shrubbery.
Yes.
Shrubbery.
Yes.
Sorry, we probably shouldn't mention like extremely inside jokes on the podcast. That's my bad. I'll stop doing that, I promise.
Moving on.
I think a lot of people would know, though, if you started going knee.
Yeah. Cut it with a herring. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Kurt?
It's as you guys know, I wasn't here last time. I had a family emergency to take care of, and hopefully that's gonna work out. But as far as like rock hounding goes, I haven't really gone out to the creek or rivers in the last couple weeks. So I'm hoping to do that in the near future. But I've just been mainly working on like lapidary stuff more. I put out a video on Tuesday because I missed my Monday post, and took some of the Nevada lapis that the channel This Rock sent me, and made a cabochon out of that, and that was it was a long process, but it turned out really nice. And whenever you're doing the polishing phase and you got a flat lap, make sure you use a doping stick so it doesn't fly out of your hands.
Oh yeah.
That was a nice illustration that you included on your video. Just yes,
myself. But
that's a teaser. That's not a spoil alert. Definitely go watch that video. There's some
I just watched it. It was great.
Yeah. And it turned out beautiful.
Thank you.
It did.
But as far as that goes, that's the only thing I've really done this week. And yeah. So what about you, Theo?
This week has been chaos. I feel like I say that every week, but this week was a different level of chaos. So nothing happened Saturday, which was beautiful. It was just a calm work day. Sunday, I hit 10,000 subscribers, which was
Woo-hoo!
so awesome, like crazy.
Awesomeness.
It's been quite the journey, but yeah, we're not slowing down yet. Anyway, so Monday, Kate and I actually went like 3 hours out of town to go do some digging for a rock called Montana Diamonds. They're a squat crystal. They're double terminated smoky quartz, and we got into some crazy stuff. And I didn't get home until like 7:30, and then promptly went to a barbecue at my mom's house where I stayed up till 1:30. Get up the next day. Turns out my entire family is in town from Nebraska and DC. And they are all fairly interested in rocks, so we went way up into the mountains and spent the next entire day fossil hunting.
Wonderful.
And went and hung out with them more yesterday, but yeah, today was like my first actual work day, and I'm so behind on everything now. And exhausted, because those were two very lengthy hunts, like back to back on no sleep. So it's been chaos. I'm exhausted. If I seem a little monotone tonight, that is why. I need sleep.
That's understandable.
Yeah, totally.
But I'm sure you came back with some awesome stuff to show us, right? Okay.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
the video with Kate will be out on Saturday. Sorry, I forgot that. Okay, that's how tired I am. I post every Saturday. I just forgot my posting schedule. Like, what day will it? Sorry.
No worries.
It's like I've had the same posting schedule for like 2 years now. What day is that coming out? I don't know. Probably the same day it always comes out. But this Saturday, yes, Smoky Quartz digging will be coming out, and it was so much fun.
Nice.
That was a perfect little glimpse into what my brain has been like the last 3 days.
I get it. Anything else for your week, Theo?
Just trying to play catch up now that I can go back to work. Other than that, that's pretty much it. What have you been up to, man? Mr. Mild Kyle?
Mild Kyle.
Oregon.
I'm trying to get. Again, I can't go into too much detail yet, but I'm trying to film a particular project that I got done, and I'm having issues with it, and it's just being a continuous problem. Sorry.
I'm just picturing Monopoly Dude right now.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, for those that are probably listening, I discovered some of the video filters features here on
Oh,
Zoom, so it's been kind of a fun little project.
And I'm super jealous because my phone won't let me do it, and
uh,
he's been doing it off camera, and it makes me jealous.
Yeah, I can't do it either.
You're not doing it?
I got my natural.
Ready,
Yeah.
partner?
Partner.
What in Red Dead Redemption's going on here? But yeah, I'm trying to film a project, and I'm having some difficulties figuring out lighting and how the shoot's going to go. And like Theo kind of said, I'm probably going above and beyond what I really need to do since the project doesn't really need it. But my thought process is go big or go home, because this is probably one of the coolest projects that I've personally ever done, and I want to make sure that I have a video to kind of go along with it. It's been tough, and it doesn't help that every time I go to film something, like I get extra side ideas that pop in, like, hey, you should add fire.
I think you should. I really think you should. No.
Yeah, from here we can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you've done enough yet. You need like a laser light show or something going on.
Oh, I already want to get fog
Pink
involved,
Floyd.
and I already get I just want to get dry ice, and I'm holding off on buying that until like I'm ready to actually start filming, because I spent like $35 on plants for the backdrop, and I'm like,
Backdrop.
yeah. So
What we do for a video shoot.
Right.
it's like, so hopefully I can pull everything off, and I found some pretty cool music to go with it. So I think what I might have to do is get the music that I want to use, and then play it as like in the background. And of course, I'll mute everything, so I'll actually input the music later, so it's more crisp. But play it as I'm recording, so I know where I'm at, and as far as where the beat's gonna drop. So
I think that's what Francis Ford Coppola did. So I think you're good.
yeah, I am. There's probably a reason why I'm not a producer for large scale anything, because it'll take too long.
I'm sorry, we're over budget.
Yeah, how far are you over budget? Like $35 on plants. Actually, no. No, the material cost for this project was actually pretty expensive. The one slab I did for this project was about $100, I think.
Ooh.
Then I also used sterling silver. This was fire obsidian, and then of course the plants, and soon to be dry ice. So
And light show.
yeah.
Plus, that the copyright like use, so you can use the Pink Floyd music in the background. That's going to be pricey.
Yes.
Thanks to the light show, of course.
Right.
It's not going to be cheap.
But enough of my week. Let's go ahead and jump into some questions. I mean, actually, did we cover any interesting projects? I mean, I'm pretty much already told you guys what I'm working on right now. So,
Can I do my project?
yeah, absolutely.
No.
I want to see it. Sorry.
What is that?
So this is potentially a not only some acid, but a sturgeon scoot that was found on the beach
nice.
in a concretion.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a
So
there's
cool.
a short. Yeah, right. There's a short going on right now that I released a couple days ago, just to see the piece before I started the acid bath. I'm kind of new at prepping, so we'll see if I don't. I really would feel bad if I ruined this scoot, but I have a word of wisdom also from my project. I'll have one later too. But don't keep your toothbrush that you're prepping your fossils with in the same glass as your toothbrush that you brush your teeth with. Just so.
That's
I will write that down.
No.
You
Yes.
use 2 different toothbrushes?
Yeah.
I mean, I found all the sand from my fossil concretions really helps, that extra abrasive.
Yeah.
I don't-
And don't drink it.
Yeah, don't
Yeah,
listen to
put it
anything I
way
say
away.
tonight.
It stinks. Yeah, like I just totally gave myself a head rush. Just like I'm going to put it way away.
don't do that.
Are you using muriatic?
No, actually, that's just vinegar. 'Cause,
Still stuff stinks to
yeah,
high heaven.
It's taking care
that's
of
okay.
the business. Yeah.
I was like, what kind of muriatic did you get that has a scent? I was really confused for a second there. Like, I mean, I use that stuff all the time, and I've never smelled anything.
That's
broken.
completely ruined your like,
Yeah, I was like, how dangerous is my head at this point? I mean, I am well aware that my head is pretty damaged at this point, but I meant specifically my nose.
What were you gonna say, Kurt?
I was going to say you put some essential oil in there to help the smell.
That's a good idea.
Drops of frangipani and we'd be off.
Mhm.
Awesome. Good idea. How about you, Marlaina? What about you, projects?
Not really a whole lot going on at the moment. I mean, just mainly doing the wire wrapping and tumbling. Like I said earlier, I don't have too much going because I did a lot of hounding and stuff last year. And so this summer, or last summer anyway, and so this summer I'm going to be spending a lot more time with my 2 kids and husband going out and doing camping and other, trips, places. So I kind of put most of my projects on hold and trying to just spend a little bit more time with the family recently. So that's why I haven't been really posting much lately, but and just kind of stuff here and there. But just sitting down and wire wrapping pretty well when I can, just to build up that inventory and stuff. And that's pretty much my projects for right now, though I do have one in mind, Theo, for next Makers Challenge, by the way. If I'm invited again.
Of course.
After that hour-long damn video, after that hour-long video, I'm so sorry for having such a long video. I told someone, though, because my mom was like, so do you win anything? I'm like, did you watch the call-out video that I sent you? Said there's no prizes, but I still think if there was a prize or a trophy for the longest one, I would definitely have won it.
I had people messaging me for like the next 3 weeks after the last video, and they're like, so who won? It's like, who gets the prize? I was like, no one, and there is no prize. Every single video, there was a comment. At least one comment that was like, oh yeah, this is totally gonna win. It's like, there's no winners. Stop it. And then one person was like, that's not fair of you to partake. You shouldn't be making a video. I was like, okay, I'm sorry. I won't make a video for my challenge next time, I promise.
No, I think you should just partake in the challenge. I mean,
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think they were
silly.
also believed that it was a competition.
Absolutely.
It's like, you can't try to win your own contest. It's like,
Kurt, want to go ahead and take it off? I think we were on projects, right?
Yeah, I think so. For special projects, what am I doing? I have no idea what I'm doing. It's been so hectic this last couple of weeks. I have no idea what I'm doing for special projects. I guess I'll try and get out to the river as a special project and keep my whole new look wild weirdo look going on and do a video on the river. So that's that'll probably be my special project. So yeah,
I think people will like it.
Next week I may not have these. I still don't know.
Then we won't know how you're feeling.
Yes.
Are you
know.
angry? Are you sad? I don't know.
So what are the purpose of eyebrows?
To catch debris.
And to show expression.
Yeah, I guess. So that's my project, I guess. As long as it makes you all smile and laugh, I'm happy. So
You are successful.
Yes.
Did anyone else have any special projects before we move on to Marlaina's questions?
My project kind of just has to do with my show and tell. So I guess I can either give up one now or I can just wait, whichever you guys prefer.
I'll just wait until everything's there all in one cluster. Saves me some editing.
Okay, well,
I
let's do
do
it.
have something coming up that's not a project, but kind of something exciting with my club that's happening in the next couple of weeks. I'm part of the Kitsap Mineral and Gem Society. I'm the treasurer of the club, and we have we just had our first meeting in like over a year, which is awesome. But there's I wanted to mention it just because I know there may not be very many people watching who are from Western Washington, but I would love to invite anybody to join the club. It is a members only event, but it's going to be super cool. I'm hoping I have permission, which I'm pretty sure I will. Most of them know I have a YouTube. A lot of them actually subscribe to my channel too, so they probably won't mind me taking some video. But what it is there's a member of ours that has 50 acres here in Port Orchard, Kitsap County, and he's opened up to the club, and he wanted to do kind of like a geocaching type thing or a GPS. Hide rocks around his property and have people basically use their GPSs and go find the rocks that are scattered all over his property that people have donated from the club and just stuff that he has extra anyway. It's going to be a really fun, a whole weekend event, so it'll be from Friday through Sunday. There's a fire pit and games to play when you're not hunting for the rocks. But it'll be something really fun, and I just wanted to like share that with everyone. Because if you become a member of the club, which is only $10 a year, you can come join us on I think it's the 11th through the 13th, and find some cool rocks and take some home, because I mean everyone will be going home with something, but it'll be fun to go throughout. And I'm sorry, my husband's asking me a question right now. I'm like, so I'm just asking me. It'll be really fun, and also be a way to come meet me and do some fun exploring over this person's property and go find cool rocks. I mean, who doesn't want to do that, right? So that'll be something that I'm doing soon. And hopefully I'll get to share that all with y'all.
Is there a way that
sounds
people
awesome.
could find that? Yeah, that does sound awesome.
It sounds amazing.
Can we have a link that we can put in our description or something like that?
I could definitely send a link to the club website if you'd like. We have, I think there's a Facebook. I don't do Facebook, so I haven't even got on. I don't know how their Facebook site is, but I could definitely send you a link to the website and go from there. Yeah, and it's pretty simple to join, and then I believe there's people you should have the information to be able to contact certain people that will give you all that information and stuff. So yeah, might be fun though. If anyone's in the area, come join.
Hey, what if someone is like traveling through the area and they want to participate in that? They just pay the club membership. So
Pretty well, that would work for me. I'm pretty sure no one else would mind. I can actually bring one person with me. So, you know, but I'm sure you could even show up that day to the event. If you're interested in that, contact me and I can give you the address and information if you'd like. And, you know, just show up and I'll vouch for you, and I'm sure there'll be no problem. But my email, if you're interested in anyone, let me know and I'll give you my email. How about that? Down below.
There you go.
Nice.
It'll be super fun though.
No, it sounds pretty exciting. And, you know, $10 for a year, that's a pretty good deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Smaller club, so I think that's why. So most of the other clubs around here about $15 to $20 a year. But ours is, yeah,
because the Billings Club, I think, is like 5 or 10 a month.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, really? A month?
Yeah.
Holy Moses! Yeah, that's really good. I think it's like $20 for the family. If you have a family that wants to do it. So
don't quote me, because I could be wrong. I actually don't know. I just remember. I remember asking like a year ago, and so my memory is not, the best. So,
I always am encouraging people to join your local rock club. It has been one of the best things that I have ever done. It just, I've learned so much and have got to do so many good things. And then most rock clubs are part of the Washington Mineral Council as well, which does their own field trips throughout the year. And so you're always automatically welcome to go to any of those field trips that happen. So, I mean, I really encourage people to reach out and just search what clubs are in the area, and you can benefit so much from it.
Mm-hmm. I can agree with you. I have not joined a rock club myself. There's one actually out in Grand Junction that I'd like to join, but I was planning on joining it right before the pandemic hit, and then it's just like I'll just wait till it passes before I join. But they've messaged me, and it seems like a really cool group of people. And,
oh man,
so.
I mean, invaluable. I can't even tell you the connections and the people. I have learned so much through them, and I'm getting cool rocks all the time. Like a lot of people have been doing this for decades. You know, they're like, I got mounds of rocks, and they'll just hand them out. Like more and more and more. Keep them coming. I don't have that pile yet.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, Kurt. I've never been in a club either. I want to join my local club. I just haven't gotten around to it for 7 years now. Which is something I should probably do, but
it's only been a year for me. I recommend like there's a lot of people that are in the area that are just starting to Rockhound, and they will ask me for information. I'll send them. I'll send them the information for that rock club, just because I think it's a really cool place to start out if you're just getting into the hobby. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That actually is a super good segue into my question for Marlaina, which was, how did you get into it? You know, you're talking about how people get into it and stuff, and yeah, how did you
get into rock hounding? Okay, well, it really started because my grandpa was a rock hound. He traveled all over the United States hounding, and long story short, I got passed down his collection, and he passed it to my father, who then passed it to me. I live in the house that I grew up in, so when I moved in here, all those rocks were there. And for the longest time, and I've always loved rocks, but I've never done in much. I didn't know much about them. And at one point, I went out there, and I have crates and crates full of rocks from my grandfather. And one of my husband's friends actually was into rocks, and he came and he'd be like, "Oh, you got this and you got that." I'm like, I don't know. And so I started kind of pulling out all the crates and kind of going through all the bins, and I'm like, well, what is this stuff? Some of it. And so I was just curious on what I had from my grandfather. And so that's when I actually, I researched as best as I could, not really knowing a whole lot. I didn't get very far. So I called my local rock club, and that's actually how I got started with them as well, is I called them and had one of the members who's good with identification come out, and he took a look at at the whole collection and kind of let me know what I had and invited me to a meeting, and so I started doing that, and just started learning and realizing I had some amazing stuff, and that's what sparked it, really. And then I really wanted to find my own stuff. I have all this from him, but I wanted to start searching and finding stuff myself, and in a way I felt like that was connecting me to him in a way. And so I just, once I started really researching and finding out about rock, the bug hit me. It was done. I was obsessed. I couldn't stop looking up rocks, and everywhere I went, my next day, looking, what's that? And that's what really started it, was having my grandpa's collection and just wanting to learn about it, what I had, and then just falling in love with it and wanting to do it myself and seeing what we had around here, and yeah. That's what kind of started it for me. Yes, thank you. And he had a good eye. Now that I've learned so much and I realize what he did, what he did find and where he went, and just amazing. And I'm so thankful to have what I do have from him. But that's something somebody had asked me, like, where do you know all these terms and stuff? It's hours and hours and hours of research.
Yeah.
If I have, if I want to know, here's something, like, what's that? I'll go look it up. And then within that, I'll find 5 other different rocks or terminologies that I want to look up, and I'll write those down. And then I'll go research those. And it just leads up and end up having like 100 different things I'm looking up and learning about. And, it's just, yeah. It's so much online and in forums and at the club, just searching, what is this?
Yeah, a lot of it's just, learning stuff over time too.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be hard to ask or answer certain questions from people, like, hey, how do you know that this is this? It's like, well, it's hard for me to explain, but I've spent time at a rock shop. I've seen a lot of stuff come and go, and it's experience. Like, you have to be able to see it and really know. And sometimes it's hard to really answer certain questions.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, sorry, Kurt. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I completely the same way. Like, I cannot explain how to identify something, but if you're right in front of me, I can show you, like, the
Mhm.
indication details of why it's that and so forth. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that too. If
Sorry
I have
for
two
stealing
examples
from
in front of me. Oh no, that's fine. I'm sure I've made a lot of people mad with. It's like, well, how do you know? How can you tell them apart? How do you know? It's like you just know.
Right.
Like I physically can't describe it. A comment section. If you were in front of me, I could show you an example and it will display why it is this. But it's so hard for me to like just put into words sometimes for some things.
Mhm.
That's when like I actually had someone comment on one of my recent videos saying like, how do you know this is like black agatized wood? And it's like the best way to tell someone without having to like go into too much detail, you can just tell them like to test the hardness of it, and then that gets you in the right category to start doing your research. So
Actually, might be a good segue into Kurt, your normal question.
my normal question,
Yeah.
What?
Unless you like decide to switch it up a bit.
I'm not sure what my normal question is, but I know I've asked this one. What is your most like interesting experience like with wildlife?
That was my cat. It just like flew across my screen. Like, oh my god.
Good
Does that
timing.
count?
That does count. That
Okay.
was really good timing.
Yeah.
What?
It was wildlife.
Oh, gotcha.
happening.
Yeah, that counts, right?
But my question was, what is your most like interesting experience with wildlife when you've been out rock hunting?
Ooh, interesting experience with wildlife. I can't say
Or like,
that I have had. I almost stepped in the otter poop in the river.
That counts.
sure.
And I'm like always on the lookout for them mountain lions, man, because I'm 5'1". I'm pretty a small person, so I'm a good meal for any of them. I look out for the wildlife, but I haven't really, other than I was thinking maybe the little fishies in the river that like to come swim around me. There's nothing that's very exciting.
You got to worry about them orca whales.
Oh man, that'd be so awesome. I'd love to see them. So, I live right here, but I actually have not seen them often. I see I don't know, swarms is not the right term,
Well, I think
but a lot of eagles.
I like that imagery though. Swarms.
Right.
Picture a bunch of flying orcas, and that's the
No, we have a spot here. We have a spot here that I go to often. That has a gathering of eagles every year. And right now, actually, I've been waiting to capture it when I go by, but I keep going by there at the wrong time. But right now, they come and congregate, and there'd be like upwards of 50 plus eagles. It's an amazing. People come actually from all over the world to this spot to witness it. It is amazing. I think I did a small little clip of it once in one of my first videos. I threw it in there at one point where I had filmed, and there had to have been at least 15 at the time when I filmed that. But it's a pretty amazing event to watch, and it's every June they come in. I think it's the salmon running through or something, I don't know, but it's pretty cool. I just thought of one, and I wish I would have filmed it when I was up there, but when I went to Saddle Mountain. The guys warned me about black widow spiders and rattlesnakes. But they failed to mention the scorpions and as I'm digging out this hole, they're small, but still, like, when you're sitting there and you're digging and this little scorpion's about to crawl up your leg, oh my gosh, I was, like, freaking out. Like, dudes, why did you not, like, warn me of this, man? Like, oh my gosh. And of course I had my camera way away from me, trying, just kind of filming me digging for, I would have, oh man, if it was close by, I would have shown you these scorpions. And then the guy that was with me dug right through an ant nest, and it just went everywhere. I mean, they were crawling everywhere. Like, I think I'll take a break and let you handle those ants you just messed with.
I'd rather deal with scorpions than ants, because, like, I'm not scared of bugs, but ants, when you disturb their nest, they get everywhere.
It was amazing. They scattered all over the place. They were looking for who was messing with their nest. I was like, nope, that's all you, John. Your mess to fix.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Theo, do you have a question?
I do. So, with your wire wrapping, was your increase of knowledge over time, was that from like a lot of trial and error, or was that like, were you following like tutorials or like, from books or something like that? Like, how did you get as good as you are to the point where you can just create your own like designs, basically? Because I'm very entry level wire wrapping, and it blows my mind looking at some of the stuff you make.
Oh, thanks. It's kind of both, total trial and error, of course. I'll tell you what, I wasn't that good when I first started, and there was a point where I almost stopped because I was frustrated. And that I'd tell anyone who attempts and tries and first starting out, it isn't easy, and there's certain tips and tricks that you will learn that will make it easier. Watching tutorials have helped tremendously. If I didn't watch tutorials, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at now with it. But it was just a mixture of both trial and error. I messed up so many pieces, I cannot tell you. That's why I do try now that I know some of the skills. I can sit there and do it in my head, and I'm kind of creative like that anyway. But I've wasted so much wire. I've wasted so much wire in the beginning, and just trash. Like, I thought something was working out right, and then I'd be done, and then the dang stone would fall out, and I'm like, no! It's because I didn't wrap over this way. I'm like, ugh. So it's been tricky and tough, but the tutorials have been the biggest help. And so if I come up with one, I try not to put out wire wrapping videos unless it's an original design of mine, because I don't want to copy someone else's tutorial design or whatnot. So it's hard to kind of come up with your own wire wrap that hasn't been done before, or but I definitely, that's why I want to put out more tutorials though too, because they've helped me so much. And when I had my Makers Challenge, that's why I decided to go the long tutorial route. For all those people who, like me, just like to follow along too, it just makes it so much easier when you have someone telling you, hey, if you pinch this and bend it this way, and here's a trick to wrap this around that way, and it really helps. And then over time you'll get better and better. I keep telling everyone who asks me, you will over time get better and better at it, and it won't be so hard. It's still tricky and it's time consuming, and but I really enjoy it. I love making jewelry, and when you finish that project in the end and it looks so good. It motivates me to do more. So I love it. I love putting smile. Most of the stuff I've done was
Sorry.
have been gifts for people, but I just love to do it. I love making jewelry, but it's been a long journey to get where I'm at now, for sure.
It shows, because your wire wrapping is it's insane. I think I'm at the point right now where I'm in I can do really simple, like the trees of life, and if I ever try doing anything with stones,
dude,
it's not pretty. Like
that's awesome though. That was the first wrap I ever did. I went and I did a tree of life for my friend.
Really, I think that's a really good one to like entry level,
Yeah, it really is.
You're allowed a little bit of freedom with those. But the moment I started trying wrapping with a stone, it always either like I have to bend it to the point where it ruins the whole piece because I didn't leave enough space to wrap over the stone, or I finished and I'm so proud, and then you lift it up and the stone just like plops right out.
Exactly. I'm for this homework.
So I think my wire wrapping right now
stones is hard.
Yeah.
It is. I'm trying right now to come up with one for everyone that I could, like, hey, here's a really simple wire wrap for your tumbled stones. That's not necessarily like a cabochon look to it. Just rounded, tumbled stones is the hardest for me to wrap and make it look nice. And,
I guess my question for you, I mean, my question has changed several times since we started the podcast.
Keeping it fresh.
Yeah, I think I switched it up a little bit. I like I said, we're going to have our previous guests back on because we didn't talk about the Maker's Challenge. Because we realized at one point most of our guests have been on the Maker's Challenge. And so I guess my question to you is, how did you feel when you were invited to be a part of such an awesome experience as far as being on the Maker Challenge?
I was pretty honored to be on, and even for this, to be asked to be on here, I mean, it's pretty honored. I feel pretty honored. To me, I don't know. I'm just a little old me over here. I don't know. just putting out YouTube videos, sharing rocks, stuff about rocks. That's also it's kind of almost surreal sometimes when you hear your name or someone invites you to this. You're like, really? Me? Like, am I that cool enough to come on here? Okay. It was pretty exciting. I was so for the Maker's Challenge, though. I was so happy that he called me out for that because, I think I told him I started that day too. The day he asked me, I started planning that rap in my head because I wanted to obviously do something original. I'm like, oh man, what do I come up with? This could take a while. And then to edit, I take forever editing. I was like, oh, I better get on this now. I'm not going to wait last second on this one. So, but yeah, I was pretty stoked to be a part of it. I really appreciate that, Theo, and it was so fun. And I'll do it again. I already have an idea. I'm not going to share it so no one takes it.
It's like, well, there will be more, so be prepared.
But I got one. That's it.
Yeah, I think I have next year's project in my head too of what I want to do, and I should start now.
Right? Like Theo's dragon and everything. I'm like, gosh, man, I need to step it up.
Yeah, I think we
that was amazing.
I think we all set the bar a little too high.
Well, I also had the benefit of starting before I even knew if I was going to hear back from everyone, because I didn't move forward until I heard a yes or no from every single person I contacted. And I just so happened to get a yes from every single person I contacted. But the moment I started planning it, like even before reaching out to anyone, I started on my dragon because I was like, well, if it falls through and the challenge doesn't happen, at least I'll still have a cool carving video to make. So I'm gonna do this either way, whether it turns into a cool event or not. Like I'm still making it, so I might as well get going on it.
Well played, sir. Well played.
Well, I didn't think anyone was gonna be up for it. I thought it was just gonna be this like idea that didn't go anywhere. So I'm still in shock at how awesome the Makers Challenge was. It was so cool.
Speaking of which, are you still going to do like a recap of a couple seconds of everyone's project?
It really sucks because I really, really, really wanted to, but I can't at this point. I don't think because I reached out to everyone and asked them to send me like pictures, and I did a bad job of like keeping up with it because I was actually leaving for Florida like a week or two after the Makers Challenge was over. So I still never heard back from 2 or 3 people because I didn't push it, and I was out of town. So by the time I would have been able to make a recap video, it would have been like a month or 2 after the Makers Challenge, and I'm like, crap, I missed that window totally. But next time, and all future ones, we will for sure.
I don't think you did, because what you could do too is, before you do round 2 for this year, you can still do recap of what happened earlier in the year before you announce the next round.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, in case you missed the earlier year, here you go. So I guess I think we went over everyone's questions. Before we get into show and tell, Marlaina, do you have any questions or talking points that you want to discuss?
I do. Give me just a second because I wrote it down. I'm 40, so my brain just doesn't remember things all that. So you have to give me a second to get my notes. Oh, gosh. Oh, I didn't put them close enough to me. Sorry for the movement of the... Yeah, I had to switch locations, if everyone noticed, because my video kept cutting out. So sorry about that. Now you get to get this awesome door in the background. So very good. I had that.
Very earthy colors.
Yeah, with some cat scratches, I think, from my cat. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, there we go. There it is. Okay. I had a question, and it's kind of just more of a silly question, I guess, more. But if you guys had to choose between hunting on the beaches or rivers or dig sites or a specific location like Bear Canyon, for example, what would you choose? If you had to choose one, and you could, what would be your favorite place to go?
I have mine.
Me too.
Well, you guys go first. I need some time to think about this.
I know that question's kind of been asked, but yeah.
So
Kurt.
No, Kurt, I want to go. No, I'm kidding. You go.
So who's he gonna be?
It's Kurt.
I want to be Dirty Dan.
We're doing the like polite guy dirty stare if you go first. No. Go ahead, Kurt.
I'll go first if you want. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, I guess. So my favorite spot that I dream about going is over in the UK to the Jurassic Park. Not Jurassic Park. Jurassic.
Coast.
I can't remember it now.
Coast?
Yes.
Jurassic Coast.
Jurassic
Awesome.
Over there in the UK. I said Jurassic Park, and that's not it at all.
Hey, man, I'd be fun to hunt too.
Sort of.
Like real life fossils.
Yeah, man. I'm big into bones, so like that'd be awesome to me.
Yeah, I think I'm with Kurt there. I'm on the coast. Any coast, anything can be on the coast. And some coasts are better than others, like the Jurassic Coast, but we have the Miocene Coast. And so, yeah, I can't say that I'm not pleased. So I got mine.
I think my answer is going to have to be a little biased because obviously I go to Florida a lot, but I've never rock hunted on a beach before. Like they don't have rocks in Florida on the beach. It's only shells.
Right.
And which don't give me a sad face, Karen. I love shells, so that's not a hardship at all. But I will be coming to Oregon soon, so I'll get to experience that for myself at some point in time. I don't know, and I'm not gonna give any dates because I have no clue. But that being said, I also prefer the Yellowstone over digging. The Yellowstone River, if I could only hunt one area for the rest of my life, it would be the Yellowstone River. Because, I mean, depending on where you are on that river, you have literally everything as an option. Like, I can take away digging entirely because I can find geodes and fossils on the Yellowstone. Like, I find fossil concretions on the Yellowstone all the time. Agates everywhere, huge range of jaspers, petrified and agatized wood. And that's not even including all the random stuff like the unakite, the amygdaloidal basalt, which is so cool. I mean, there's no end to the stuff that's on the Yellowstone. So, though it does suck because we're in the middle of it right now. Runoff is here, so Yellowstone's going to be off limits for another month or two, which sucks. But yeah. Which I would go insane at once a year if I could only hunt the Yellowstone. But if I only had that one option, it would have to be Yellowstone.
That'd be me too. Rivers all day. Rivers all day. That's where my heart is for some reason. I love the shores, and that's what's so local to me, and it's right down the road. So that's why you see mostly hunting the shores. But gosh, if I had to choose one, it'd be the rich thing. It's not only just the hunting the rocks, but the time while you're there and the nature all around. I don't know. I'm in my happy spot there for sure.
I am right there with you. It's so cool. Plus, we get the benefit that diggers do not get, and that's when you hunt a large river that has a massive runoff once a year, you get a reset once a year.
That's right.
We're lucky in Montana because we get ridiculous winters with lots of snow and 5 to 10 foot ice sheets over the river. So those literally make glaciers, and then they will turn into big ice jams, and that churns the gravel. So we in Montana get 2 refreshes every year.
That's so cool.
There's always new stuff to find.
I have no idea. My dream to hunt the Yellowstones with you guys someday.
Magical. Well, if you ever make it to Montana, you better get a hold of me.
Oh, for sure. I was just talking with Kate actually, because she had was coming through Washington and asked if where I was, and we weren't able to meet up, but she invited me to the event in July. If I could, I would. Yeah, I would be there in a heartbeat. I mean, I knew it was in Billings, so I kind of went on my Google Maps and was like, okay, how long and how far to Billings, Montana? It's like 13 hours and something like that. I was like, I don't know if I'd be able to talk my husband into that one.
It's a pretty solid drive.
yeah, and it's on the day of our club annual picnic, so but anyway, I would totally go to that instead, though. Just saying. No offense to any rock members or club members watching. I would totally be in Montana if I could on the Yellowstone.
It's a magical place.
I'm sure they'd understand.
I just every year am reminded a little bit more of why I love Montana so much, because I think everyone that doesn't live in Montana is like, oh, it's just the Yellowstone. But then during high water, I have to go to other places to do my rock hunts. It's like, dude, we have everything here. Like, Montana has everything. It's amazing.
Yep. Number one choice to live if I ever moved will be Montana. I'm trying to talk my husband into it. I really am.
It's a magical place.
Hey, Kyle, where would you go? Where would you go?
I mean, if I had to pick one over any of the areas, would this be like if I had to pick one for the rest of my life, or just one for the year?
You have to pick one.
She's
you said that.
Yeah, I'm thinking if well, more just what's your favorite or something. I guess if you had to just go one of those, which is so unfair to ask, but
Yeah,
one for the rest of your life, which one would you rather pick?
Speaking from living in Oregon and the logistics of our locations, if I really had to choose, I would honestly go with dig sites, just because I know that I'll come out with material.
Right.
And because right now, I think the Willamette River is covered with algae, so you can't see any of the material that's in the Willamette. Because my friend asked me if I want to go kayaking again. I'm like, yeah, that'd be great. And she let me know, I was like, yeah, we can't kayak. You can't see anything at the bottom, or you can't rock hunt because everything's covered in muck. On the coast, Karen, we should actually start getting into our everything's covered with sand season. And the mountains I love going up to the mountains, and there's some areas up there where I know I can get some pyrite, and I can enjoy nature. It's quiet, it's peaceful, just the smell of fresh air and being away from the city. It's great. But I think dig sites is always a guaranteed. I'm gonna come out with something, be it a petrified wood dig site, sunstones, thunder eggs. Like, I know I'm gonna come out with something that's gonna be worth my time going out, and not have to.
Right.
I mean, I don't care either way.
Totally understandable.
I mean, if I go out and it's like I don't get a bunch of rocks, like I'm not gonna worry about anyways, because most of you should know that my rock pile is ridiculously large.
You're trying to build your own continent at this point.
Kyle's accreted terrain.
I had this thing in my mind where I want to go up to the mountains, dig a hole in the mountain, and use every rock that I have and line that hole. So when it comes time at my ripe age of 120 years, I will have mountains.
That would be awesome.
You know what I thought you were gonna say, Kyle?
What?
I said, you know what I thought you were gonna say?
What?
I thought you were gonna say that you're gonna go to that guy's house or ranch and get that petrified wood.
Pet Limcast.
Yeah, I still have a spot on my shelf. I got a piece on there.
Just waiting.
That's when he's 119,
Yeah, that's my choice. I mean, that's only if I really had to pick just one. But
right. I know, which will never happen. It's kind of a bad question to ask, but
That's the fun of hypotheticals.
Right. Who's coming up with one?
The thing is, dig sites can actually be kind of spread across the board, because it doesn't have to be necessarily just to Oregon. If someone said, "Hey, I'm going to pay for your ticket to go over to let's say somewhere on the East Coast to sift through sift for sapphires, emeralds, or whatever is over there," I'm like, yeah, let's go. That to me, that's considered right, because you're getting material.
Yep.
To go through.
But River also covers all the sapphires and garnets in Montana too, because those all come from gem painting in rivers.
Ooh.
Yeah. I got you.
Rivers always flow to the sea.
Yes.
Ooh,
That's fair. Well, we don't have a sea in Montana. Actually, yes, we do. That is true. One of the coastlines of the interior seaway goes directly through Montana, so that's why we have dinosaur fossils and huge ammonites and plesiosaurs and mosasaurs and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
But if that counts, then my answer, if I said coast, then that means digging rivers and coast all in one. So that's the cheating the system answer.
Yeah.
Right? I'm changing my answer to my new answer is Western Interior Seaway.
Yeah.
Didn't you kind of cheat on the last question in the last podcast with the
I
silicates?
did, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I
We
did.
will usurp every question.
Yeah, that's the plan. That is just how I do.
Marlaina, do you have any other questions? Or
No, I think I'm good. No. I had one, like, is most of your hunts planned or spur of the moment most of the time? I don't know. That was about the only other thing I came up with. I usually am the spur of the moment person myself. Rarely do I get to plan things and it stay planned. So I'm usually a spur of the moment when I go hunting. It's like, oh, I got some time, I got the date. Let's do it.
no, I had the plan because bank account. If my bank account says no, then I can't go anywhere. It also depends on if I have projects on the table. Because if I have projects lined up, I can't focus for the life of me. So everything has to be done before I can have a play day. And I also have to make sure my bank account says, hey, you can have a play day.
I'd say both for me, but probably leaning more to planned because Alexis comes with me every time. So I have to plan in advance because I need to know how long I have to convince her that we need to go rock hunting together this week. If it's spur of the moment, she's like, no, we're not doing this. It's like, so if I let her know what we got.
I get that.
It's like, yeah, we can.
That's cool.
Karen,
What about you, Kurt?
I am the type of person that likes to plan things just so I know what I need and how long I have and so forth. But lately, it's been like, I got to go pick up groceries. I'm going to stop by the river too real quick.
Mm-hmm. That's me right there.
like the groceries have to be picked up by, let's say, 5 o'clock, and it's like 7 o'clock. And I'm like, oh, I got to call them, and I'm 2 hours later. So.
Nice. We're seat of the pants. If we can get out, we get out. Like, it almost doesn't matter. Like, is there enough gas in there? Let's go. For all of it, it's free. You're eating the same amount that you would at home. We basically have ours set up, so just load up the truck. Let's go.
Awesome.
And there's so many places
Love
in
it.
Oregon, like you were saying about Montana. Just everywhere you look, it's like, oh man, Oregon. Just drive and dig, or drive and walk through a river, or be on the coast, or it's good.
Oregon's a great place too, actually, for rock hounding. Many places in Oregon I'd like to visit someday. Yes, I will be hitting you up. I will.
Yeah, definitely. It would be fun to hook up and go to some of the fun places.
And you could teach me about fossils, because I don't know barely anything about fossils. I'm still really learning about fossils. I know a little, but not nearly to the extent you do. I would love to learn from you. So,
it's great. You just nailed it when you were talking about the research part. I know everybody, you find something, you're like, I don't know what this is, and so you start going to your friends and you go post up your picture online or what have you. And like, that's what's so cool about the community, is that like everybody helps each other. I don't know anything that somebody didn't tell me about what's cool about there, and so that's what I love, is that, yeah, come out and find some fossils or whatever else rock it is that you're looking for. But yeah, there's always so much to learn, and there's always so much that you can help each other out with. It's a great community for that.
That's why I started watching rock hounding videos, is to learn, and yeah, it's the best way.
For sure.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that might be a good segue into show and tell, maybe.
Okay.
Who wants to take it off?
I will. All right, I got a couple things. I did bring my latest wire wrap. I don't know if I can send it up there, but I hope it looks cool. Oh, it doesn't look as cool on here. Does that look like an eye to you?
No, yeah, it looks
Yes.
like an eye.
Oh,
Very
Yep.
eye.
Maybe if I go like that. Yeah.
Ooh.
It's, yeah. Oh, there. I was like, well, flash for me, please. Oh, it's elaborate on it too. So that was, yeah, it was one of my creations. I don't even think I really like it. I might redo it and just trash the whole thing. I don't know yet, but that was
that's beautiful.
one of my
gorgeous.
recent wire wraps, and then I have this. I have this one here. I think this was in the video. This was a recent wrap that I had done as well with some Larimar.
Ooh.
Nice.
And it turned out really, really pretty.
I love
One of my favorite wraps. Now, this one is definitely one that I watched a tutorial on. And it has been turned into one of my favorite wraps, actually. But,
I love Larimer.
Very beautiful. Thank you.
I love it. I wish I could
Awesome.
have as much of it as possible.
It's so hard to get a hold of sometimes.
It really is. I almost feel bad. Like, gosh, if you've read up on where it comes from and how old they have to get it and the hard work. And, I mean, it's literally, there's one vein in the world of this stuff. And once it runs out unless they miraculously find another vein somewhere. And so, it's just going to continue to skyrocket in value.
That's why I've
as
been
well
trying
too.
as much as I can right now.
Anything blue, I'm into anything blues. Oh, okay, sorry. This is my son's door. He didn't want to go in his room. He's like, oh, what do I do? Oh, he's gonna come camera bomb us. Rockhound in the making.
In the making, work in progress.
I'm teaching him well. I'm trying. But my alarm's going off. Thank you, sweetie. Now this was my other show and tell, though. Hey, Spencer, will you get me some water? Like a cup with water?
Alright.
So just maybe this thing will come in better for you guys, because this is I shouldn't say it's my husband's prized poppy. So this is a poppy jasper, biggest poppy, and this sucker is heavy too. I think there is most of the poppy jasper either has hematite or pyrolusite in it. I think this one's got some hematite to it because it's super duper heavy. Okay, thank you, sweetheart. I'm gonna get it wet though and see if maybe the coloring and stuff will show up a little better for you, and you can maybe actually see the orbs that is on this thing. Because oh my goodness, it is just the most amazing piece of poppy I've ever seen. And normally you don't find them this big, so that's why this is a pretty good size. Gosh, it's not gonna show it, is it?
Yeah, take a picture and we can.
And there we go. That's what I'll do. Yeah, so you can kind of just see from this. It's it's almost as big as my head. It's huge, it's probably the biggest poppy I've ever seen. That was one that my husband bring home that he actually found at his job site. No fair. I gotta go searching for him hard, but he just goes to work and comes home and brings home stuff that he finds all the time. One-ups me all the time on everything. But yeah, that was pretty cool though when he bring that home. He made Mama happy that day. So I just thought I'd share that one because I wanted to bring the latest poppy that I had found in my my recent video. But as I was telling them you guys earlier, that I totally lost it. Totally lost it. I'm searching for it again. It's somewhere in my rock garden. When I was going through, this is a keeper to do stuff more. This is nice in my rock garden. I think I somehow threw it in that pile to go in the rock pile, and I'm telling you, I cannot find that thing. I don't. I don't know. It's there. It's somewhere. I figured instead I'll just show you my big prized poppy that sits in my rock garden too, because I don't think I'll probably ever cut that thing.
Nice. Yeah.
And that's about all I have for show and tell.
Yeah, just be sure to get us pictures of.
I will.
Yeah. Who would like to go next?
Kurt does.
Okay, I guess I'll go first. Since I haven't really gone out rock hounding or anything in the last couple weeks, I don't really have anything that I found, but I did buy a piece of Amazonite from the camping couple, and I'll send Kyle a picture of it because you're not going to really be able to see it.
I don't see it. Where's the picture?
I'll send it to him.
I mean, that works in real time, right? That's not editing, is it?
It's a piece
yeah,
of
but
Amazonite.
in editing, it's going to be there.
Okay. Oh, that's how that
works. It's a piece of Amazonite that I purchased, and then I won a piece of quartz crystal point that they were giving away. So I'll send both pictures to Kyle.
Awesome. I love Amazonite. It's so pretty. I love the color of it. Yeah. That's awesome.
That's one of the reasons, like moving to Colorado, I was super pumped about going out last summer before the pandemic hit and going out and finding some of that Amazonite. But it's on the back burner for right now. But I'll find some eventually.
I was gonna say, Kurt, you and me, we gotta go to Pikes Peak at some point.
Yeah. Pikes Peak and Lake George.
Yes.
Oh, you have my heart right now. Yes, that's something that my grandfather left me some rock crystals from Pikes Peak. So
that's so cool. I mean, you got the box of Amazonite with giant smoky quartz crystals growing out of it. It's so cool.
Like Amazonite and smoky quartz clusters are I think Colorado is the only place you can get those two that form together.
I think it is.
In the world. So,
they're so cool. That's been on my bucket list for as long as I've been rock hunting.
I have a couple mini specimens in my rock room.
That's awesome.
So.
I've got to show my grandfather's stuff someday, I tell you. I keep saying, or I have said way when I first started my channel I was gonna, and I still haven't. But I've got to show some of those stuff. He's went there. He's gone all sorts of places, man. Just amazing. It's on my bucket list, too, though, to go someday. I want to get some hematite-coated crystals, and, yeah, I love it. That's cool.
Karen, do you want to go next?
Sure. My show and tell is on my neck. So it's small, so I'm going to send a picture. But I took a start to finish from some boulder opal that was sent to me. I didn't get to mine the opal, but I got some chunky rough and got to follow the little ribbons of the opal down and find the color. And one of the very first, start to finish pieces from this parcel that I got from Queensland is on my neck finally. And so I finally finished a piece of jewelry from it. And so there's a short of this already out, and then just making the cabochon, and then I just set it, and I'll probably drop that soon. But I'm so excited. Like I finished this hour podcast. Like I'm like,
nice.
Oh really? Oh wow. That's great.
You know how that feels, Marlaina, I'm sure, like when you finish the piece of jewelry and you're like, well, I have to try it on.
Oh yeah. I was gonna wear one, but I had this hoodie on and it wasn't sitting right, and I was like, oh man, well, but yes, just absolutely. I gotta wear it and see how it looks. Oh yeah, it looks beautiful from what I could see too.
Thank you. Yeah, I added a little sunstone that has a bunch of really blush schiller that picks up some of the pink and the color of the opal. It's boulder opal, so it's got like all the different weird colors and some terrain in it, and I don't know. I'm partial to that. I think I have Theo's number here too. Well,
Oh,
that
yeah.
and Winding Ridge. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You and me, we
man.
see eye to eye on a lot of material.
Yeah.
How about you, Kyle?
Wow,
So I also bought some stuff from probably that same sale that Kurt bought some stuff from that camping couple. I got some Yeeper lights for the first time.
Cool.
Uper lights.
Yeah. I'll have to get some better pictures, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with these. I'm torn between polishing one of them up just to have a face polished. So yeah, that was my show and tell. Finally have Yeeper lights. So, Theo.
So I have a few from Monday when we went out looking for. Yeah, I mean, is that shocking? I always bring multiple.
We
at
saved
this
the
point.
most for last.
Yeah, so I bring a lot every time. Anyway, so Monday, Kate and I went out. Kate from Katie Did went out and looked for some of these crystals, which all of these little black dots are squat crystals. So they're really short, double terminated smoky quartz.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
And when I mentioned that my projects kind of have to do with my show and tell, man, I'm finding new uses for the scribe every day, I swear. So when you find these, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but there's a little tiny dark spot right here.
Yeah.
Like, a little right here. These are very fragile because the matrix is kind of weird, so they're hard to... Actually, here's a better example. That little black dot.
Yep.
Okay.
That is a crystal completely surrounded by the matrix. Well, I learned that the scribe can actually excavate the crystals, so now we have some... I can make those crystals stand out like so well, and it's... I'm just finding new uses for that scribe every day. I love that thing. I was using it to pop some of the crystals out, but I thought it would be cool as, some specimen pieces. And this video will be coming soon. I'll be faceting a couple of these, actually.
Nice.
They're really
Awesome.
And
Yeah.
really shocking because these are the only crystals that I was aware of in that area, the squat crystals. And they're a little bit more opaque. They're not like that translucent. Well, we went up the road a little ways, and we kept finding seams of really nice crystal clusters. Like, I don't know if you can see that sparkle at all. Like, there is just so many smoky quartz crystals in here. And a couple of the pieces are so cool. So you find a rock like this, and there's itty bitty smoky quartz, like just pure jet black smoky quartz poking out. But between all of the smoky quartz is a layer, like thick layer of common opal. And it's so cool. Oh, it's awesome. Cool. That was an awesome day. And then this was my nicest loose crystal find. It was this beautiful little smoky quartz crystal. The funny thing is, this is
deep color in that. Wow.
Yeah, Montana smoky quartz is insane. Like, so dark.
Yeah.
If I go like this, you'll be able to stand out better against my white shirt. I planned that.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, as far as Montana smoky quartz goes, this is actually not anything special at all. But considering where it came from, these aren't supposed to be in that area in this size range. So I was losing it a little bit, and you will hear that in that video. But nice. Yeah.
Cool.
And then Tuesday, when I took the entirety of my family out to go fossil hunting, that was chaos, by the way. Oh my gosh, there was like 16 people, all spread out in different directions, all hunting and hooping and hollering. It was awesome. Anyway, though, we were in a Jurassic Marine exposure, and this is a Griffia oyster.
Oh, cool.
It's just
Oh,
has
wow.
phenomenal detail. Some really nice ones. We stopped at another spot and found a bunch of coral, but yeah, these things, they're so awesome. They clean up so well. And this one, actually, it's one fossil here, but there's actually another one that is inside of the other one, like
That's
stuck
cool.
inside of it with the matrix. So that
Wow.
was a good one to show. And this one's cool too because you can actually see on the shell right there. There's no way you're going to be able to see it through the Zoom camera. So I apologize for that. Just trust me. All right.
I trust you.
Viewers at home, just I'm not lying. I swear. So you can actually see worm shells, the tracks from worm shells on top of this, and then right here and right. Oh, you can actually see it. That's actually the space from where a barnacle was.
That's
Oh wow.
Cool.
That line right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are such an awesome little like window into marine ecology, Jurassic marine ecology. But yeah, that's what I got. Those upcoming videos coming soon.
Well, thank you for
Probably.
sharing all
Could I
that.
ask you, Kyle, a question real quick?
Of course.
So about your I watched your Uperlight video, and you put this yellow lens in front of the camera so that you could show it glowing. What kind of yellow lens was that? I left the comment asking. I was like, well, actually, I got you on here. So just some plain old,
Yep.
okay,
That's popular.
safety goggle glasses. Okay. Well, thanks for the tip, man.
I feel it.
Is that your?
That's awesome.
Are you supposed to do that?
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard because
Very
like
spacey.
I wear glasses and I can't. Excuse me for a second. I can't necessarily wear like sunglasses or safety glasses because it's just weird and awkward and it's pinching my nose and I can't breathe and
I get it.
what goes on. I think almost all of us are wearing glasses right now. That's why I want to get one of those. Oh.
There we go.
Wait. Oh gosh.
And now
these
we are a
mine.
club.
Yeah, that's how I usually look. So.
But yeah, that's why I want to go. I want to save up and get that that Beast's UV light, because I get fluoresces rocks a lot better than having to have, a separate set of lenses and,
Right.
This is a kind of obnoxious. So,
I asked because I used my black light all the time. I didn't know I was supposed to be wearing shades with them.
it
So
helps.
I'm sure my eyes are thanking me for that.
It
I've been
actually-
doing this for like 6 years now.
Well, I asked because he put it over the camera and it made it to where we could actually see it glowing, so through the camera. So I was like, oh, that's a cool little trick you got there. I did not even know about. And I was like, I wonder what kind of lenses. Were they special? Where do I get these? So I just wanted to ask him like that. Because I had no idea about it. That was pretty cool.
You saw it here, folks, on the Rockhound.
That's right.
Theo's discovery of his long-term eye damage in real time.
the more you know.
I mean, at this point, I've got glasses. They're already bad. It's whatever,
Just get your glasses like the blue blocking glasses, and okay, I think it can also help. With that.
Okay. Gotcha.
Well, let's go ahead and start wrapping things up, and start with words of wisdom. Who would like to start off with that segment? Karen, maybe? Do you want to start?
Okay. Sure. Actually, this is totally relevant to something that we just touched upon. So this is great. A bunch of people, when I was doing the shout outs before, something that people were asking for was a little bit more help with the Rock ID. And so I just thought, as far as words of wisdom goes, if you're going to show, obviously visual references are really important, right? So take a good picture that's crisp and has good lighting, like wait until the morning when the sun's out, or create a lighting situation and make sure that your picture is in focus, please. And then if you go ahead and want to post to a forum, make sure that the forum is appropriate for that identification kind of situation, because some of them are not. And so but then after that, all these people will want to chime in and tell you exactly what you have, which is really cool, because there's a paradox where if you don't know what you're looking for, you can't ever find it, right? Like if somebody can show you, this is what the like the sturgeon scoot that I found, like a bunch of people had like the same thing that I had in the rock, and they recognized it, but how would I know what it looks like, until I posted it up on a fossil forum, right?
Yep.
So, yeah. And so the other things, a measurement, and maybe also just some information about where it was. It doesn't have to be your secret spot or anything like that. But, just a little provenance goes a long way for people to be able to help you out. And that's where the community loves to help you. There are so many people that know and have maybe something just like it in their like wall of rocks, like Kyle or whatever. They can help you. And so we'll definitely do a show that's devoted to some of the ID, but that's just, the word of wisdom right now is yes, definitely go out there and get some help, ask the questions until you know, but help them help you. That's my word.
Also, make sure the lens of your camera is clean.
Yes. I was gonna
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
That can make a huge difference.
Your lap in your car when you just got, into the car from your hounding trip or whatever, like, is not a good shoot spot. Like, usually. I've seen that so many times, like somebody's lap with their jeans and everything, like there's the rock. What is this? And you're like, oh.
Yeah, that's like in focus on their jeans, not the rock.
Yeah, like the jeans I could see perfectly. Like those are Levi's. I have no idea what you're rocking. So that's mine. Who wants to go next?
Marlaina, do you want to have a word?
Sure. Be patient. Be patient. Never give up, and stay true to you. Do what makes you happy, and it all, and that's, I guess, more towards, should I say, like words of encouragement for people who are trying to start their own channel, or there he goes again, flying cat, start their own channel, or even just start out. Like that type of thing is really cool. Be patient, don't give up, and do what makes you feel good, and everything will fall into place in due time, and you will learn over time. I always tell people, as I said earlier, join your local rock clubs. Go join lapidary forums. That was a great one. I kind of almost wanted to piggyback on yours because I had that written down because it's such a benefit. I have with ID in particular. I joined one and I have learned so much. And so many people are like, oh, that's that. I'm like, oh, awesome. I had never known. And then read books. When I first started, I went down to my local library, and I checked out every single book that on rocks and minerals. And I took the two I liked or thought that helped me the most, and I went and purchased those. And I mean, especially if you're starting out, get a book for your area, because that's what you're going to most likely be finding. You're going to be finding rocks, unless you're traveling all over, what you're going to find is what's right in front of you. So get a identification book for your particular area. That's my go-to book, and I've learned so much from that. And feel free to reach out, because the community is just wonderful, and we all want to share and just learn from each other, so
That's
Thank
awesome.
I'll
Yep.
throw something out there, I guess, that goes kind of to that. But before the identification and everything, if you're new to the hobby and you want to go out rock hounding, don't collect specimens in national parks or national monuments. Those are off limits, as well like protective lands and so forth. And don't, if you're out on someone's claim, don't claim jump. Don't
Yeah.
on someone's claim. That's a big no-no. And if you need help finding a place, you can always post on social media, rock groups, or message us, or I'll definitely help you if you need help finding a location near you, or go to your local rock club and so forth. And don't be afraid to hunt. Like if you're hunting on the side of roadways where it's legal, don't be afraid that somebody's going to see you, because
Yeah.
nobody cares. Like, I was so I think the first time we had Theo on, this was kind of the same words of encouragement, but I was always hesitant that people were going to see me looking at the ground, and just
I'm never fooling with my camera with videotaping the rocks.
Yeah.
What is she doing? I think the same thing. No.
Yeah, that was definitely me when I first started, for sure. It's like, everyone knows what I'm doing. They don't know, nor do they care. Just look for your
And
rocks.
half of them will never see me again in their life anyway. So you know what? Whatever.
I think mine would be just go explore. Like going back to the Yellowstone being too high to hunt right now. Like this, I know a lot of people go crazy this time of year in Montana because the Yellowstone is like, that's the spine of rock hunting in this area, and it's like when it's too high to hunt, your options for the river are just done. But there's so many other things to do in Montana, so I always I'm torn because I love the Yellowstone so much, but I also actually kind of look forward to this excuse to go do other stuff. Like Kate and I, for example, we are totally like Yellowstone rock hounds, but just Monday went out and looked for smoky quartz crystals and had so much fun and found stuff that we did not expect to find, and that just would not have happened if we didn't just step outside of that comfort zone, go explore. So if you have one spot that you hunt a lot, I would highly recommend branching out and going and finding something that you've maybe never looked for before, or just something outside of your norm. Like if you're all about agates or crystals, go look for some fossils, like mixing it up.
I like that.
That's really good advice there. I think mine would be I'm gonna kind of go towards maker challenge side of things. If you are approached by another YouTube creator and they want to do some kind of cool project, don't hesitate to say yes, because you don't know where it's going to take you, because you just never know. I mean, I think for the Maker Challenge, I've got to talk to and get to know a lot of people that I would have not normally had the chance to even talk to. So don't be afraid to take a chance, step out of your comfort zone, and say yes. Cool things can happen, and that's how they happen. But that's mine.
Great advice.
But with that being said, does anyone else have anything else before we call it quits?
Nope. Just if you have any questions for us in the future, definitely drop them in the comments for us. If it's for Marlaina, we're definitely going to be checking the comments, and so ask her a question in the comments, or if you've got some for us for in future comments or podcasts, definitely let us know. we'll tackle it on the next one for sure, or give you a shout out. Yeah. Oh
my gosh, I had a little brain fart and forgot where I was going with that. But hold on. It came back. What came back was, thank you, Marlaina, for taking the time out of your day to be a part of this podcast. And I know it's gone on a little bit late, but we appreciate your time and the opportunity to be able to talk to you and answer questions. And hopefully your fans will be able to be like, oh, hey, there she is. So thank you.
Yeah, because I don't show my face very often. I appreciate you though so much. Thank you guys. It's been so fun, and I've loved this. This is awesome. I'd probably go another hour, but I won't.
We'll just have to do it again. Seriously.
Yeah. No, this has been great. Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Been a blast.
Go ahead, Kurt. Sorry.
I was just saying it was a blast.
Yeah, it rocked. Anyway.
Yes.
But
You rock.
yes.
Keep rocking.
That's going to do it for today's podcast. So be sure to stay tuned for next week, and we will see you in the next one. Rock on.